Hi guys, this is Herman Bock from MrBockReviews.com. Welcome to my Webinaro review. We're gonna have some fun with it because it has a couple of features that are amazing. Something that I really love and like, and I have never seen somewhere else. I think Brett Rutecky solved this problem in a very interesting way. But also, I want to invite you to stay because I have a set of bonuses that I have put together especially for this product. This is a webinar selling product, and I have you will have to stay to the end to see what custom bonuses just for this I put together that you won't find anywhere else. The combination of everything will make you go like, wow, these are the things that I need to complement this product, and this is very important, and you'll enjoy that. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is the importance of this software. If we go to the sales page of this software, let me show you something very interesting right now. That's a new software that allows you to cash in on webinars without having to run one yourself. And by that, what it means is that you don't have to be live there on the webinar talking. However, you can give the visitor to your page, to your webinar, a live experience. And that's what I love from this. So before any further ado, let's go to the dashboard of this product so I can show you exactly what I mean. There are several other webinar programs that actually allow you to do something similar to this, to have evergreen webinars where you're not sitting there all the time. But there is the problem of, the people come here and they notice, oh, okay, this is a recorded webinar. And what if I have a question? How do I solve, I want to know something about what I'm looking at in the webinar. So how do I get this question solved? You ask the question and nothing happens, and sometimes there's not even a chat there. This one allows you to give that feeling of being live there, because you can actually, and this is the very interesting part, you can actually have a live chat during your recorded webinar. Isn't that interesting? Well, let me show you. That's the dashboard here. I'm at the dashboard. Obviously, there's one thing that's very interesting, that there's not like any other product that I've seen everywhere. Basically, most of the time you have a bunch of OTOs. You have like the main front end, and you pay for that, and then you have one OTO, you have two OTOs, you have three OTOs, you have five OTOs, and uploads and down sells and cross sells and all the different things. Here you have one OTO, and that's the one that's presented here. So basically, if you don't get it at the beginning, if there's still the option of one-time payment, and I think it's worth it to get this one-time payment option because it allows you to have unlimited automatic webinars, video hosted on a CDN. You have to remember that Brett is also the creator and owner of Vidis, and Vidis allows you to do this stuff. So he already has the infrastructure for the video presentation, and that only gives you unlimited options. The other thing you have to think about is the fact that here on the front end, where you just pay a small amount, you have two features that it can be like, okay, what do I want this exactly? You have branding from Webinaro, something like done with Webinaro, and you have a limit of only 5 webinars that you can be running at the same time. Here you could have 1,000. It's unlimited, the amount of automated webinars you can have. So that's the point of it. You can read more about it on the sales page if you decide to buy. Anyway, so how do you create a webinar? You just go to first, obviously you need a video. The video you will have to upload here first. You have to understand that if you only have the front end, you have that limit that I mentioned. This running on this Webinaro server. If you use the upgraded version, then you have the unlimited version using the CDN. So those two things are something you have to keep in mind. After you have uploaded the video, then you go and create a webinar. You just create new, you give it a name, easy. You go here, that's it. Oh, sorry, not here. You go to the edit webinar, simply, and you just fill up all this information. One thing, and I asked a question, I don't have an answer, but if I get an answer before publishing this, I'll put the answer of this in the text in the report that I'm writing below here. If you're watching this in YouTube, just have to click on the button below in the description, and that will take you to my written review, and there you will have more information about exactly if this thing is actually like this, because you fill all this up. And the thing I found is that apparently only Let's Mail is the one that's allowed for, you know, collecting the emails. The advantage of this is that you're getting Let's Mail, which is a complete autoresponder. You can even go and look up Let's Mail and my interview with Brett Rutecky on my website, mrbookreviews.com. It's one of the reviews that's, you know, done about 5 or 6 or 5 reviews before this one. So you just have to go and learn everything about Let's Mail if you want, but you don't have to buy it from there because you get it as a bonus here. Yeah, it's a disadvantage for me, but it's an advantage for you actually. But if this is the only email, then you will have to do a little bit more about it. So anyway, then you fill all this stuff up. One interesting thing is that you can have a done for you webinar. So you basically click here and have their webinar set up. So the advantage of this, you can also get almost $500 every time you sell this. So I would definitely do this. You do have to request their permission to promote this, and you do that by going into the tutorials and going all the way down, and then you can request the affiliate link. Once you click here, you end up here. You write here probably, okay, I'm a Webinaro client of yours, and then you will get half of this, 50% of this amount. And they have made $22,000 in the last 30 days just with this webinar and using this software. Another thing I find interesting is that they eat their own dog food. Is that the way you say it? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so this is the tutorial section. You get everything explained. And the feature I was talking to you about that I find amazing is this one here. Let me show you. If you go to edit webinar and then you go to main settings, you have this option here, question email. Normally, and this is the feature that I found on other, you know, automated webinar programs, is that it's not easy to have that live feeling. And how do you get a live feeling when you're doing a webinar? You have a live chat, you ask questions and you get answers. And that's exactly the point. So here you have the option to put an email address, your email address, where you will receive the questions that people send. When you receive that question, in that email that you will receive with the question, you will have a link. And on that link, when you click on that link and answer that question will pop up automatically on the live chat. And the person will go like, oh, he's there, he's answering my question. And that is, I mean, that's great. I love this option, definitely. And I haven't seen it anywhere else. So after you fill everything up here, then your webinar is basically ready. You will have your list of webinars. And if you want to know where to send people to, you will have your address there. Yeah, so you open that link. If I open this in a new tab, this is how it looks without much further ado. Of course, if you see here, I have added a video code, right? If I had added a video, then you will have a video here, right? So that's how simple it is. That is how easy it is. And I love this, you know, especially the feature about the live answering of questions using the email solution with a link. I love that. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, so now I want to take you to the bonuses I have created for this particular program for Webinaro. It's, in my opinion, these bonuses are good. Let's take a look. So I'm gonna go here to my review of it, but you can watch the video here, but you can also watch a demo from Brett explaining everything in a little bit more detail than what I just did. But I just wanted to highlight the features that I find more interesting, and that thing about the fact that it might only be working with Let's Mail, even though, oh, that's something I wanted to show you. Let's Mail is part of the bonuses. You're getting Let's Mail, so you can install Let's Mail. And in fact, I have it installed on a test website. And let me just give it, I'll just pause this for a second. I'll show you for, you know, very fast how it works. So as I mentioned, when you're logging on to Let's Mail, which is this bonus that Brett Rutecky is giving you and you're getting the complete program. You install it on your server, and then you have access to all these different stuff. You can actually create lists, several lists. You can create a bunch of emails, but the most nice part, in my opinion, is the fact that you can have sequences. You can create a sequence and you can add the different emails in the sequence. You can create a new message. You can say which SMTP account, and this is an advantage because you can use Amazon SES and pay basically nothing. And once you have this, you can tell how many days after they sign up, they're gonna receive this message. And this is what makes it automatical. It's something that is gonna happen just by itself. You don't have to worry about it, and you have the control. You are basically the master of your domain. And that's what you want to achieve when you're doing internet marketing. A lot of people, especially at the beginning, when you have money and you're getting lots of income, then it's easy to go and pay for a top of the class email provider, and then you're doing good. However, guys like Brett Rutecky, the guy who created Webinaro, right? He uses Let's Mail, and he uses it with his own server. So if it's good for him, it could be good for you, I think, right? You have all the tutorials that are required, everything that you need to know, it's right there, and you're getting this for nothing. So I certainly think this is a very good deal, a very good bonus. But at the same time, and I'm going to be honest with you with this, you might find that you don't want this. You want the ability to use any, let me see, that's here. Not only Let's Mail URL, you want to use get response. So if that's the case, you would have to come here and download your list of users that are created here. Or actually, you have to do it in Let's Mail. You would have to go to lists, I think, yeah, and you would select your list. Obviously, you would have created a list for the webinar, and here in this option, you would be able to download your list. Yeah? You have a file, and you can go ahead then after that and go to Aweber, GetResponse, or any other of those providers and upload it over there. Obviously, the disadvantage is that some of those providers put a limit on the amount of people that you can upload, so it would make more sense to actually stay here. That's my opinion, my honest opinion. So let's take a look at the bonuses I have created. As I mentioned, these have been put together specifically for Webinaro, and if you will notice that they're concentrated in two aspects. Number one, how to sell better with webinars. Everything about webinars, the concept about webinar selling. This is what exactly this is about. This is 45 minutes of value-packed webinar selling training, stuff that you need to think of in order to sell better using webinars. You have to understand that normally when you're selling with webinars, you're selling outside of the inbox. What is that? If you get this, you will understand that concept and how that concept revolutionizes everything, especially if you are comparing it to just email marketing or having a landing page, a squeeze page where people come and then you try to sell them something. There is a complete different mental state when the person is watching a webinar, and you need to understand that in order to be successful selling using webinars. That's what's taught here. And then I have the webinar Autoresponder integration, how to integrate this better, what concepts you have to keep in mind in order to multiply and take the biggest advantage of using webinar selling software like Webinaro in order to benefit, have a bigger way of having more sales, which is in the end what you actually want to have, right? So, and this is another about half an hour of training that will also explain everything about this concept. The next one is commission automation, more ways of automating your webinar sales. Think about that. Webinaro is an automation software that allows you to sell when you're doing something else. Obviously, you would, if you are using the email option to answer questions, you would definitely need to have your phone with you because you have to check the emails that are coming, and then after the emails are there, you have to come and tell them basically this is the answer of the question so that they have that feeling of everything is happening live. But That's it. Everything else is automated. So you have to benefit from this if you're learn about this. And this is another 43 minutes of video explaining everything. Now this is a training, a complete training, and a template bundle, because if you decide at some point to start creating your own webinars, how are you going to create them? The easiest way is to use PowerPoint. But how to use our PowerPoint? A lot of people don't know how to use PowerPoint, or they have just seen it a couple of times, but they actually haven't gotten in there and actually do something. So if you want to understand PowerPoint, this is a 20 video course about how to use PowerPoint in all its details. And then I'm giving you these two bundles. These are templates that you can just grab and modify instead of having to start from scratch. And that gives you the huge advantage, right? If you're creating webinars or videos, presentation videos, where your ideas are presented in a very interesting and captivating way. You get that if you get Webinaro from one of these links that are connected to my affiliate link. And this is a product that I created, because this is the other aspect. How are you going to bring people to your webinar page so that they can sign up? You have to have traffic, and this is one set of traffic methods that I have been looking at and testing and having success with, and I call them underdog traffic methods. So you get that, and you also get rebranding rights. You will have to get it in order to understand what I mean, because there's a bunch of links within this ebook, and this ebook you can rebrand in order for your links to be there. So you are benefiting from not only the information within the ebook, but you're also having an option to make that ebook generate income for you. I think it's a good option, and you're getting not only the ebook but also the rebranding rights. And then I have this set of 11 traffic masters who have been interviewed, and they show you exactly what they do. One of them is the guy from UpViral, Wilco DeCray. He talks about the concepts and how he does it, but he's only one of 11. So you have 11 people, showing you all this great information about how to bring people to a particular web page in order to do whatever you want to do, like sell them or anything. So you get it if you actually buy from my link. And last but not least is the vendors bonuses. As I mentioned, you get Let's Mail. You also get my digital shop, Shadow Sales, and Instagram. All these 4 programs are within the members area, right? So if I go here to the member dashboard, this is the programs, and you get to join Brett's Facebook group. What am I talking about? Anyway, that's basically it. This is something that I am interested in you benefiting from, and I hope you really find all these bonuses practical and compelling, because they are specifically created for Webinaro. They are put together in a way that it will help you with selling better with webinars and bringing more traffic to your site. I think those 2 things are very important if you want to sell with webinars. So this is Mr. Buck. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm just signing out.